guys, welcome back to Grazy TV. Today I have another interesting paranormal scary. But this time I am reading you, the subscribers, the fans who left a comment about your real paranormal scary stories on my last ghost encounter videos where I talk about my real encounters with ghosts and spirits and things like that. Also, I'm gonna be touching back if I do have any other paranormal stories that happen. So in today's video, I actually did not pick the really freaky scary ones. There was a lot of you guys talking about like really crazy scary stories that happened to you guys. So if you guys want to check out the really scary ones, go back to the video and like just go through the comments and read everybody's experiences because it gets crazy. And so number one was by Daisy K. I had a few encounters with ghosts and two of them literally saved my life. I was maybe 10-11 years old and I was coming back from school alone. I was already in my neighborhood. I started crossing the street but didn't look around for cars. The moment I stepped on the street, I felt that something pulled me back really hard. Someone just grabbed my backpack and pulled me back. A second later, a car showed up right in front of my eyes and the driver was driving really fast, so there was no chance he could have stopped on time, and if the stranger didn't pull me back, the car would have 100% hit me. Absolutely scared and relieved, I turned my head to thank the stranger who saved my life, but there was nobody. I looked around, but there was not a single person around me. So I think that was a ghost or a guardian angel. I don't know, but I'm grateful for this day that the ghost/guardian angel saved me. But I'm getting chills right now, shivers. For a 60-70 pound like human being to be pulled, there must be like an immense force. I'm sure a human being would have said like, oh my god, little kid, you have to watch out, and like scold you or something like that. But for someone to not say anything and just like literally bolt out of the scene, that seems a little bit impossible for me that a human being would have done this. But I did hear a lot of stories about like humans, like literally us being thrown in the air or like being pulled back, which is so freaky in a good way. It's actually kind of cool. Just see if you do have any other comments about your story that you shared with us, leave a comment down below. We would love to hear like your after comments about this. The next one is by Angel XSSS. It was night and me and my brother were waiting for the next Dragon Ball Super episode. Ooh, Dragon Ball Z. But my mom told us to go to bed, so I went to bed, but then I was really hot and woke up. I took the covers off me and saw a woman who looked exactly like my mom. I knew it wasn't her because she was staring at my brother in the middle of the night. Oh my god, I'm getting shivers. What would you do? What would you do if you saw someone staring at you in the middle of the night? I'm imagining like someone just like straight and like literally staring at you like this. I would probably go crazy. I got under my covers and waited until that woman went away. I was scared to death. I could hear the woman's footsteps going downstairs. After she went downstairs, I ran to my mom's room and saw her sleeping in her bed. Oh my god. And I got more creeped out because the woman I saw looked like my mom. Until this day, I'm kind of scared to sleep alone in one room. That is freaky. I've heard a lot of stories where like spirits or ghosts or whatever would take in the form of like your friend or someone that you know in the family, like someone in the room. It's like kind of like Mystique from X-Men. Like they would know how to transform into like a real human body. If you guys know what the purpose of spirits doing this is, please let us know. Okay, next one is by Little Cookie. So my dad used to work as a janitor in a hospital and I was with him because my school was over. We were waiting for mom to pick us up. So I used to have this one friend that always used to stay with me there. My dad told me that I used to take off and not come back after a while. I still remember it like it was yesterday. So I guess this happened when this person was young. When I used to play with my friend, she used to tell me that she loved my parents. The weird thing was that she had tons of toys and she always told me stories. Aww, what kind of stories did she tell you? But she used to take me to places we weren't supposed to be. Now that I think about it, the girl looked a lot like me. When I was small, I felt like I knew her from somewhere. After remembering that, I told my dad an exact description of her and he just froze. He told me that my mom had a miscarriage when I was 4 or 5 and that was the exact time I saw her. But then one day she just disappeared, and the day before, I guess she left, she said she loved me, my parents, and my other siblings. She said she didn't want to leave. But now that I'm older, I have dreams about her. Oh my god, I'm about to cry. This is a sad story, oh my god. So the crazy thing about this story is I want to know why she had to leave. So it says she didn't want to leave, meaning like she knew that she had to leave, maybe to the other side. After someone passes away, your soul doesn't leave the earth right away. Like it takes a little bit of time for some souls to leave the earth. I would love a follow-up with this story. If this little girl that you're talking about, you know, what kind of stories did she tell? And do you still remember the stories? And what kind of toys did she have? Again, if you guys have any similar encounters to this story, please leave a comment down below. Next, we have from Nina Arsenic. When I was young, our backyard wasn't fully developed and there was only a cement where the septic tank was. The cement was a bit high and that is where my mom would do the laundry. And besides where the high cement was, it was still covered in rocks. And as a young kid, looking down to the rocks looked like a cliff and it felt really high. Okay. One day I took a bath where the backyard, where my mom does her laundry, where the high cement was. I was placed in a basin filled with water, playing with my Barbies while my mom washed me. She forgot my towel, so she told me to stay put where I was and she was gonna get the towel. I nodded and continued playing with my Barbies. Then someone tapped my shoulder. I turned around and it was an old man wearing barong, Philippine traditional clothing for men, okay? And he looked ugly. Okay, that's some like detail right there. He was ugly. But I'm sure you don't mean it in a rude way. I'm sure, you know, you're just trying to like describe this person. I screamed and hurried dashed to my mom. So this was real enough for her to scream and run to her mom. She asked me what's wrong. I told her there was an old man in the backyard. When we arrived, the old man was gone. My mom was confused, but she noticed the basin where I was taking a bath is at the edge. And I would have fell on the rocks if it weren't for that old man. Ghosts are scary, but they save lives too. Wow. Alright, so I'm guessing she said our backyard in the story, so she had a house. It wasn't like an apartment where you share where there's like a lot of people. I'm sure it was like a private backyard. And she says there was rocks on the bottom, so she could have been in real danger. Not to mention the fact that she was very young as a young child. I mean, if it was a real human being, that would be creepy. Someone like just old man creeping around in someone else's backyard. This is a scary yet a good story. Wow. Okay, so again, ghosts are scary, but they save life too. Helena Kalimova. Okay, so she says, my story isn't exactly a ghost encounter, but it's kind of mysterious. When I was little, every birthday night, I had a dream about my previous life. Ooh, past life story. I saw everything. Our house, dog, my mom, siblings, grandfather, and his little garden. But every year the dream was a little bit different. In my first dream, my grandfather was still alive, but a year later he was dead. I never saw our house properly because it was always raining. But last year I tried some go to your previous life exercise. What kind of exercise is that? Helena, let us know what the exercise is. I would love to try it. I am sure it was my previous life. The weird thing is that I remember almost everything. Not the exact details or how the people looked, but I could remember my room, my grandfather's little garden, and his rocking chair, our 2 dogs. Oh my god, so there's actually a lot of stories about pretty much mostly children remembering their past life. Like I said in my previous video, because children are not as old as, you know, we are, you're still more connected to the other side and you're not as washed by the physical world, if that makes sense. I would love to know if Helena, you remember like what country or what race you were. So I don't know, maybe if you remember being like Russian or Asian, maybe you could look into like where you were and maybe even like find out the names. Of course, that's a long shot, long chance, but you know, there are people who actually can do that. Mochimon says, I love your name, Mochimon. When I was younger, my family used to rent a basement with some very nice, crazy old lady. I remember times where I'd go to sleep and dream about this man with a suit, like a police suit is what I used to say as a child when I mentioned this man. Apparently, I used to say to my parents, I dreamt about a kid last night. He was looking for his mom. He'd look like a police. My parents got worried because I mentioned this kid many times, so they talked with the old lady with my parents, and she rushed somewhere and came back with a photo album. They all called me upstairs. She lived upstairs because we rented her basement, okay? And the lady opened the book. She started flipping the pages till we got to the first photo. She had 3 sons in the Air Force or the military, and asked if this was the man I saw, and I replied no. We came to the second son and she said the same thing, but I said no. By the time we got to the 3rd son, I pointed and said that That was a kid. Oh, I just got shivers. The lady then said that he had died a few years back and she didn't know I had encounters with him. My mom told me if I ever see him again that I should tell him his mother is upstairs. After all that, I've never seen him since. I remember these dreams as a man standing looking at me. There was this vivid light always surrounding him, and of course he had his suit. Ooh, I don't know what that was. So I do remember like hearing a lot about how ghosts or spirits, once, you know, they send out a message, you know, they never bother you again. So Mochi, you say that there was a light surrounding him and he had a suit. So maybe that was his way of saying he is okay, he is fine. That is also crazy, the fact that you as a child, you were able to point out what he looked like and who it was out of the 3 people. I am hoping that, you know, your story was able to put a little bit of comfort from the crazy old lady, as you say. I'm actually really enjoying reading your stories, you guys. So Nora Justice says, my sister dreamt of a guy she didn't know and he told her his full name, and when she woke up she didn't think much of it. Okay. But later she was like, why not look up his name on Google? And guess what? She found out that the person died in a car crash long ago, and she thought he probably needed her prayers. That was the only reason that could explain his sudden appearance in her dream, so she prayed for him to rest in peace. Oh my god. When I read this, I literally could not sleep that day. The fact that she remembered the name in the dream. Oh, okay, so it said this person died in a car crash long ago. So I'm a little bit confused why or how a certain spirit could still pop up when this person has passed a long time ago. So if you guys are pretty experienced in this kind of world, please let us know like what are the possibilities and why this person could reach out to a random person. But I'm guessing because your sister felt this need to pray for him, she was probably right that he needed some prayers. You should look into that and see. Oh my god, why the hell does this fall? Why did that fall? I'm literally banging on this right now. It's not falling. Anyway, okay, that was weird. Oh yeah, and I told you guys I was gonna tell you guys more encounters that I had. So I have this one encounter that is a little bit freaky. So I was in LA about 2 months ago. I was there with a friend and we were staying at the Line Hotel. The first weird thing that had happened was I just took a shower and I came out. So in this Line Hotel, there is an electric curtain, which was cool. So the curtain goes down and up based on the buttons that you press. It's not touch screen, it's not whatever. So I was walking towards the bed area and guess what? All of a sudden the curtain starts moving up. Now, this electric curtain is huge. The window is huge, so the sound is like, it's loud. So once I heard the curtains go up and the curtains were going up by itself, I was like, I was super freaked out, but let me tell you guys, I was like, okay, it's electric, you know, I didn't press any buttons. There's nothing near the buttons that, you know, could press it by itself, but it's electric. Maybe there is some electrical error, whatever, you know. So the next morning, I wake up. I remember exactly, it was about like 8 a.m. and I wasn't fully awake. I was in the bed and I was like, okay, I have to get up. And then all of a sudden, the curtain starts going up again. So I was like, okay, it happened second time in a row. You know, maybe this hotel just does that. It happens with everyone. So I asked my friend, hey, in your room, does the curtain move by itself? And my friend's like, no, that has not happened. What are you talking about? Maybe it just happened in my room. Whatever. Let me just go down, you know, the front desk is, and let me ask them if this has ever happened or this is normal. So I go to the front desk and I ask the guy, hey, my curtain is moving on its own. Does that really happen all the time? And the bell desk guy is like, no, I never heard of that. But you know what? Let me get the electrician and let me look it for you. So that same day, the electrician came into my room and he was looking around. So the electrician is like, sometimes when you're using the Wi-Fi on your phone or your computer, it could trigger the electric thing and it could happen. And I was like, I was not using the Wi-Fi at the time this has happened. The next morning, again, I was sleeping and I was woken up by the curtains moving. So I was sleeping, so obviously I wasn't using the Wi-Fi or my phone or my computer. So yeah, I feel like that was super weird. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any thoughts, your encounters, anything, leave a comment down below. Remember to hit the like button to see more videos and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you do not miss any of these interesting videos. See you guys next time. Bye!